Yeah, that's definitely true. But sort of segueing, a lot of people see you, I see you as pretty successful, doing all these careers, and you're really high up there. But a lot of people don't see the failure points, the times where it wasn't all good. Tell us about your major failures and what you've learned from that.
Yeah, no, definitely. And also, it always surprises me when people say that, like, that they think I'm successful, because for me, I'm like, I'm just doing like one day at a time, and just like I'm still like super stressed sometimes, and like still just trying to do a good job at my job and just trying to do my best day to day. So that for me has like never changed, and that's kind of been what I've been trying to do always, is say yes to opportunities that come my way and try to do my best job at things when I am given the chance to do them.
Yeah.
So that's what I try to do. But failures, there's been so many failures along the way. I mean, and all that, like, I feel like we're all constantly failing. If you're not failing, then you're not trying hard enough, or not putting yourself out there enough. And when I think back about failures that stand out, it will be, I'll tell you about the Rhodes Scholarship, which I've already talked to you about a little bit, but I really had my heart set on winning a Rhodes Scholarship.
So what is that for people that don't know?
So it's a fully paid scholarship to study a course of your choice at Oxford University overseas, and you can study for 2 to 3 years, and it basically really opens up doors for you to study with the like leading people in the field of your interest. And so I had wanted to do that. I remember there was a girl from my high school who'd studied medicine and then got a Rhodes Scholarship. And I really looked up to her. She's called Julia Matheson, and I spoke to her about her experience over there and everything that she'd learned, and thought it would be a really awesome thing to apply for, and was encouraged by her and a few other people to apply. And so I applied for it, and then was lucky enough to be shortlisted at Otago. And so Otago Uni nominates a couple of people every year. So how it works is you apply to your local university, which is Otago, and then you have interviews there, and then they choose maybe 2 or 3 people to put forward nationally, and then from those 2 or 3 people that are put forward from each university, I think 6 are chosen and interviewed.
Yeah.
And so I flew up and had a day of interviews at Government House and a dinner, and met the Governor General who interviewed me, and they were all previous Rhodes Scholars were the winners. And so these were all amazing people who I thought had accomplished really good things. And then what happened was after you go back, after everyone's done the interviews, you go back and you're all lined up in a row, and then the Governor General announces who the Rhodes Scholars are for the year, and it wasn't me. And I was really gutted about that, because to apply, you have to say what you want to study and what your area of interest is, and you have to contact people over there to say, would you be interested in, would I be able to go and work under you? So I'd, like, as part of the application process, you really work through what your life would be like, and so it was really, I guess, disappointing for me, and not meant to be. And then what happens is not only did I fail that time, but then I talked to some more people, and they were like, why didn't you put Learn Coach on your application? Because I had really focused on my medical studies and what I wanted to study over there, and then talked a little bit about being Miss New Zealand and what I'd done with that. And I hadn't included Learn Coach in my application, which was stupid, because it is the biggest and the best thing that I've done. And so then I reapplied the next year at Otago. And so from that, in that time, Learn Coach had hugely grown and made a huge impact. And I'd got really good grades and had more time to think about what I wanted to do over there. And so, like, in my opinion, did a much better application. And so Otago shortlists 10 people each year for interviews, and they didn't even shortlist me the second time, which like, in my opinion, and so I emailed them afterwards, and I was like, why, like, is there a reason, like, that my application wasn't good? And they just said they prefer people who who are first-time applicants. And I guess what was disappointing with that is that if they only are going to choose people that are first-time applicants, they should have that as the criteria.
Yeah.
Like they shouldn't, if it's not an actual rule, then it's not a rule. And if it's a rule, then it's a rule. So I think for me, I definitely had my heart set on that, and really there's nothing else I could have done. Like it just wasn't meant to be for me. I applied twice and got turned down both times.
So how do you bounce back from that? That's like, because 2-3 years you're like envisioning yourself there, studying, and then that's like done. You're no longer gonna do that.
Yeah, exactly.
How did you? What was the mental, gymnastics you took to, get over that?
Yeah, I think that I think when things don't go my way, I think I like to. Like there's different kinds of people, and some people like to be, it's fine, like I'm not really that disappointed anyway. But I was like, I'm actually really gutted. Like I like to acknowledge that it's really disappointing if you've worked hard for something, and if you've had a goal and it doesn't work out.
It sucks like shit.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah. It really sucks. So I guess I was really disappointed for a while. And then you kind of just like lick your wounds and you just carry on doing what you're doing. So I just carried on, finished my medical degree, focused on Learn Coach, and have really just, I guess you just move on. And also I'm stoked, like if I'd gone overseas, then we wouldn't have been able to grow Learn Coach into what it is today.
That's true, yeah.
And so I guess you start to see, like there's never a good reason for like something that you're looking forward to, or like that you really hope for not working out, but like other things work out. And so by not going and studying at Oxford, I've been able to really progress Learn Coach and finish my medical studies, and now I'm working in finance. And I think you just think if I'd gone over there, my whole life would be on a completely different trajectory.